Hello everyone, this is Quadrant giving you Game 2 in a best of 3 series between AT and Socke and Mouse Hasu, this time in the Delta Quadrant. Mouse Hasu spawning as the yellow Protoss player, currently down 1-0 against Socke. So we'll see whether or not Socke will be able to finish the deal here, or will Hasu be able to force a Game 3. Now, things to note on this map so far, you can see that Socke and Hasu are doing a good job making sure that those probes are mining on the closer mineral patches. This one probe perhaps should be transferred over here, but he's trying to make sure that he's mining on the closest mineral patches as possible in order to get a slight economic advantage. A little bit of that traveling distance just between here and here adds up over time. And what that does is it actually slows down your mining. So if it will be beneficial, or as I've said in the replays that you guys didn't hear since my microphone didn't work, Protoss versus Protoss is really a game of seconds. What you're trying to do is you're trying to gain seconds on your opponent, hoping that if you have a little bit more of an advantage, you will get your stalkers out a little bit earlier, and then using that advantage, using that stalker advantage, using that stalker advantage or using your army advantage, continue that momentum, and then just be able to flood in with more units. So in a Protoss versus Protoss mirror match, it really is a game of seconds. You're trying to get more minerals faster than your opponent, trying to get your warp gate research 5 seconds, 10 seconds faster, trying to get your 4 gates down, trying to get your stalkers down faster, and ultimately win the game. Hasu now, a little bit of pressure over here, and now both sides should be doing pretty similar builds. There's a Cybernetics core, and now another Cybernetics core coming in as well, and it looks as though Hasu is now going for a Cybernetics core before that second pylon. I'm taking a look at the build over here by Socke. Socke doing a similar build as well, getting a Cybernetics core before a pylon, so not much of a deviation here. Both players doing a true mirror match, and we'll see who will be able to execute it off better. Probes now battling it out over here, and now we'll be able to back off once again. More probes are being trained off of the Nexus. I believe once you get up to 20, is it 16, or I believe it's 20 probes. Once you get up to 20 probes, you stop probe production, and that's enough to run 4 gates, or run 4 warp gates. We can see the chrono boost now on that Cybernetics core here, and also the gateway training up a stalker in order to try to get some damage onto that one probe. The probe looks like it will be able to come back for one more pass, as there is no chrono boost on that gateway right now, so that stalker will not be coming out to engage anytime soon. One probe now making its way out for Hasu, so Hasu may be trying to set up some proxy pylons, as this one probe now is able to move out. So one probe activating this Zelnaga watchtower here, currently getting 2 additional gateways. 1 more gateway should be coming online. Both sides warping in 3 gateways, so this is going to be a massive gateway, a 4-gate push coming in from both sides. Who will be able to execute it better? Currently, I'm going to bring up that army tab now, since the majority of the building is done, and you can see that both players are very, very similar. 125, both sides have one stalker. It looks as though Socke is behind 1 probe, and we'll see if that has any true effect on the income. It doesn't look like there is any real impact on the income so far, as you can now see a pylon currently warping in here. Down goes another probe, so Socke now losing a lot of probes there. This one pylon is going to finish warping in just a second. No, a stalker trying to engage, but Socke now about to take some critical damage now into the yellow zone, as those stalkers are once again going to try to re-engage. The stalker should not have tried to damage that pylon, perhaps get some damage onto this one stalker instead. And now 625 army versus 375. Things are not looking good. Hasu a little bit behind, but now warping in his own stalkers as well. And now Socke realizing that it's a 5 versus 5 battle. He cannot afford to fight at this time. 750 versus 625, so a 6 versus 6. 6 stalker versus 6 stalker, but one of those stalkers is low on hit points. This probe might, yes, going to set up another proxy pylon here to warp in units along that back door, as there is also another pylon here able to warp in units along this back door as well. Stalkers and Zealots now making their way out, perhaps to try to do a little bit of pressure. Socke now gonna try to engage, and now those Stalkers got to be very careful if they're able to focus down the lower hit point Stalkers. One Stalker now already taken down, and second Stalker may get taken down, and now a 1075. That is, I believe, a 1 Stalker difference But there is another Zealot here, so more Stalkers are going to try to engage, going back and forth. Zealot's going to take some damage as well. Stalkers now engaging another low hit point Stalker there. Zealots are battling it out. Stalkers are trying to fight back and forth. 925 versus 850. More Zealots are currently being warped in, and there are 4 Zealots. One of them very low on hit points. Has to be careful as the Stalkers are starting to poke and deal more damage. Socke sitting at 30 over 50, so that is good. He is really behind now. Not exactly sure what's happening there. As did we get some harvester kills? Oh, we got some harvester kills. I need to rewind that. Okay, sorry. I didn't notice it the first time either. So, oh, did we get any harvester kills? Units lost? Oh yeah, there we go. And so during this early engagement here, as he was pushing out with that front, he was able to warp in 2 Zealots, and those 2 Zealots were able to get damage along these probes. So that backdoor aggression really worked out, and that was a lot of damage to be had. The probes now coming off the mineral line as well in order to fight. The Zealots were able to engage. More damage is being dealt. Socke ending up losing another Zealot in this engagement here, and now also taking more damage. Socke forced to warp in Zealots along that backside, but he did lose a lot of those probes. And then this engagement over here, you can see that Hasu now has a stronger army and a stronger economy, and that's really what was the tipping point. Hasu warping in those 2 Zealots, getting in about 5 to 7 probe kills. And now Socke losing his proxy pylon as well. So Hasu now on the move, trying to put more aggression once again. There is 1 Zealot here. The Zealot was able to spot this pylon, unable to shut it down though. And now this probe going to make its way over. More Zealots now warping their way in. Probe going to set up the proxy pylon a little bit too close. The Stalkers are going to be able to shoot at it. Going to get cancelled. Warp in perhaps another one, and the Zealots and the Stalkers are going to simply walk into the space. And Socke realizing that he cannot fight back against the superior numbers. 1475 versus 1075 should be GG'ing in just a second, just because his economy is much weaker. So yeah, 575 versus 1150. Very nice micro coming in from Hasu, and there's the GG. So Socke losing this game to Hasu here in the Delta Quadrant. Hasu warping in 2 Zealots and putting in a lot of aggression, able to shut down a couple probes inside the main base of Socke, and that's ultimately what did him in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay. The series is now tied 1-1. Stay tuned for Game 3 on Lost Temple.